Look, Bumble knows you're exhausted by dating. All the, must not take yourself too seriously, and 6'1" since that matters. And what do I even say other than, hey? Well, that's why they're introducing an all-new Bumble, with exciting features to make compatibility easier, starting the chat better, and dating safer. They've changed, so you don't have to. Download the new Bumble now.
This episode is brought to you by La Quinta by Wyndham. Your work can take you all over the place, like Texas. You've never been, but it's going to be great because you're staying at La Quinta by Wyndham. Their free Bright Side breakfast will give you energy for the day ahead. And after, you can unwind using their free high-speed Wi-Fi. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book your stay today at lq.com.
It's a Minimalist Monday edition of Optimal Living Daily, episode 3187, Minimalism and Happiness Through Scientific Eyes by Lee Hughes with theminimalist.com. And I'm your narrator, Justin Malik. I'm going to keep this intro minimal for Minimalist Monday, so let's get right to it as we optimize your life. Minimalism and Happiness Through Scientific Eyes by Lee Hughes with theminimalist.com. Minimalism and happiness. Is there evidence of a connection? Can money and materialism bring happiness? Can minimalism bring happiness? P. Brickman in the 70s conducted a study in which he investigated the level of happiness of people whose financial dreams had come true. He found that those who had won millions on the lottery were no happier than his control group who meet their basic needs. Money can buy short-term happiness, but you will eventually turn to your level of happiness before financial gain. This puts you in a vicious materialistic circle in which you strive to achieve long-term happiness through the constant purchase of material items. Not healthy. How can you beat this vicious cycle? First, you must understand the roots of materialism. According to a study from Chaplin and John, 2007, there is a strong link between low self-esteem and materialism, usually derived early in childhood, and that low self-esteem causes materialistic tendencies. But it's not just about buying material goods for yourself. A study from Dunn in 2008 showed that it's how we spend the money that can determine how happy we feel. They go on to say, quote, "While much research has examined the effect of income on happiness, we suggest that how people spend their money may be at least as important as how much money they earn. Specifically, we hypothesize that spending money on other people may have a more positive impact on happiness than spending money on oneself." Providing converging evidence for this hypothesis, we found that spending more of one's income on others predicted greater happiness both cross-sectionally in a nationally representative survey study and longitudinally in a field study of windfall spending. Finally, participants who were randomly assigned to spend money on others experienced greater happiness than those assigned to spend money on themselves, end quote. Okay, so what does this have to do with minimalism? Well, to quote Colin Wright, quote, "What minimalism is really all about is a reassessment of your priorities so that you can strip away the excess stuff, the possessions and ideas and relationships and activities that don't bring value to your life," end quote. With this stripping away, you find yourself doing more with less. You find you no longer waste money on, and potentially you can use this extra money or your extra time from stripping away draining relationships into more experiences. Boredom and comfort are the enemy. So is there any actual evidence for this, or is this just another blog post just chatting random shit? Yes, there is evidence. Van Boven and Gilvig in 2003 conducted a national survey asking people to rate according to how happy their purchase had been. One group had bought a product, the other an experience. The results clearly showed that the group who had described and rated the purchase of an experience had higher levels of mood. Quote, "Do experiences make people happier than material possessions?" In 2 surveys, respondents from various demographic groups indicated that experiential purchases, those made with the primary intention of acquiring a life experience, made them happier than material purchases. In a follow-up laboratory experiment, participants experienced more positive feelings after pondering an experiential purchase than after pondering a material purchase. In another experiment, participants were more likely to anticipate that experiences would make them happier than material possessions after adopting a temporally distant versus a temporally proximate perspective. The discussion focuses on evidence that experiences make people happier because they are more open to positive reinterpretations, are a more meaningful part of one's identity, and contribute more to successful social relationships, end quote. So the evidence points towards a strong link between happiness and social relationships. This comes of no surprise considering our evolution. During our evolution, we stayed in social groups. R. Dunbar suggests that this group living could have been one of the causes of the evolution of language, something that made us excel as a species. We need other people. This is what experiences give us, the opportunity to share experiences with other people, while the purchase of material items can isolate you from others. What about the roles of neurotransmitters into experiences? Well, when we have new experiences, we often have excitement as we have never done it before. Once we undergo excitement, the brain releases endorphins, which are endogenous opioid peptides that function as neurotransmitters. This chemical is well known for the well-being state it creates in humans. Excitement caused by new experiences releases endorphins and creates a state of happiness which can be increased with minimalism by stripping away the fat and letting new worthwhile experiences in. So, does minimalism create happiness? Does it improve your life? I never said that. Minimalism is subjective for a lot of people, and it would be foolish to try and pinpoint something as broad and vast as happiness into one cause. Rather, minimalism is a tool. What minimalism can do, though, is strip away the fat and leave you with a newfound financial freedom that you can use for new experiences. Experiences that you can share and enjoy with other people. You just listened to the post titled Minimalism and Happiness Through Scientific Eyes by Lee Hughes with theminimalist.com, and I'll be right back with my commentary.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
Families have a lot going on. Let Ollie help manage the mental load with new cognitive help supplements for everyone 4 and up, like delicious Lolly Focus Pops or Lolly Mellow Pops for kids. And for parents, try 3 new Brainy Chews to help you focus, chill out, or get energized. Find these cognitive health buddies for the whole fam at ollie.com. That's OLLY.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Thank you to Lee, a guest writer with The Minimalists. I've definitely heard of those studies where they look at lottery winners and find that they're not happier and sometimes actually worse off than those that didn't win, or it led to them becoming less happy than they were before. That's not to say that money is evil or the actual cause of our problems, but it's definitely not the answer. I think we know this already deep down, but it's easy to get sucked into thinking things like, oh, if I just had X dollars, I'd be happy. But it just doesn't work that way. I think it was Jim Carrey that said, I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of so they can see that it's not the answer. And we might think, well, it's easy for him to say since he has a ton of money already. But I think any wealthy person would probably say the same. And as for experiences, I'd say it's definitely been true in my own life. When I tracked my mood every day along with what I did that day, the best mood days were always the ones that I spent with people that I enjoyed being around, having experiences, not buying things. So a good one to think about today and as we start the week. With that, have a great start to your week and I'll see you tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.